everyone, in today's video I'm going to be showing you a tutorial for these hoop earrings that have pastel butterflies on them. I had a request for doing a set of earrings or jewelry that was made with ACRYGEL and gel instead of acrylic. So here we are. I really like them because the ACRYGEL is very lightweight comparatively to acrylic, and even though in this thin little application normally you wouldn't see the difference, you wouldn't be able to tell, they do just feel extra light and airy. So that's a happy bonus. I hope you like this video. If you want to see some of my past earrings, I will put them in the description box below, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!
First thing you're going to do whenever you're doing anything where you want to have a bunch of the same thing is you're going to draw a template. So I have a piece of white scrap paper and a nice richly inked pen, and I'm going to draw out my butterfly wings. I'm going to make two sizes of butterfly, so I'm going to make two wings, a large wing and a small wing. You don't have to do both left and right sides. If you have a piece of paper where your ink will bleed through, which is kind of the goal, then after you have the one side, you can flip your paper over and you can see your image and it'll be mirrored on the other side. As a request, I had somebody that said, can you make a set of earrings that is using an ACRYGEL or gel product? And so here we are. I'm going to be using a pink ACRYGEL and I'm going to sculpt my butterfly wings. I'm going to do first the large wing, and I'm going to take and get separate little blobs of ACRYGEL for the upper and the lower wing, and still cure them all together at one time, but just sculpt them into separate sections. I think that helps just differentiate them a little bit than if I had tried to get enough ACRYGEL for just one shot of it. After I have the larger of my two wings that are drawn out sculpted, I'm going to repeat the process for the second one. For each earring, I need two rights of the small wings and one right of the small wing and two lefts, because I'm doing two left small, one left large. So basically I'm making 6 pairs of wings for each earring. So 12 wings total, each side of your butterfly. Yes, I hope that all makes sense. So flip your paper over. After you have that done, you're going to then draw out the image of your butterfly wings again. It wasn't vivid enough to see through it and through the nail form backing. So after you flip it over, you should be able to see it well enough to trace what you had drawn on the other side. And repeat the process by sculpting a whole pile of wings. I've got my little one sculpted. The more of these you sculpt, though, the good thing is the faster and the easier they go, because you get to be where you really know how much ACRYGEL to grab. If you find that, because there's even within certain categories of gel, ACRYGEL, builder gel, sculpture gel, etc., 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 there is different viscosities. If your ACRYGEL doesn't hold its shape as well as mine is currently, and mine was right on the edge of whether or not I thought it needed to cure more frequently. If you find that your shapes are getting a little softer, they're blending together, they don't look as crisp as when you first finished sculpting them, go ahead and cure your wings after you sculpt each wing, or possibly after each segment of each wing. It's kind of your call how soft you want your wings to look. If you want them to hold as much detail as possible, you may have to cure them immediately. So now I'm going to use the Madam Glam Mirage gel, which is their super 3D, super thick viscosity gel. And I'm going to roll a little bit of it into a snake shape, a very like hot dog wedgie snake shape. And then I'm going to grab my two large wings and I'm going to use the tweezers to support them. And I'm going to press them into that hot dog of Mirage gel, which is a statement I don't think anybody has ever said. And just press those in there. Once you are happy with how upright they are, how they look, their position, everything, they just look like, yep, that's just how I want them. Grab a flash cure flashlight and you are going to, sometimes they're kind of wiggly, you're going to cure them in place. It shouldn't take very long for that Mirage gel to begin to harden. And after it has hardened, you can move your tweezers, put that butterfly into the lamp to fully cure. Get yourself a smaller hot dog of Mirage gel, and you're going to make your smaller butterflies. You are going to need to assemble all 6 butterflies total. After you have all 6, and I would do all 6, I wouldn't just do one earring and then the other one. I would finish the process and make all of them at the same time. After you do have all 12 butterflies made, then I'm going to mix a color so that I can do little different colors for each of my butterflies. I have 3 blobs of the white gel paint from Madam Glam, and then I've got the purple gel paint from Madam Glam, and then I've got the one that's like the electric blue color. I'm going to mix that with the white because I want pastels, but I also want to use gel paint because it cures so nice and smooth and it is so pigmented. And then I'm going to use the really bright pink one, and I'm going to make my pastels. After I've got that, I'm going to hold on to my butterflies with the tweezers so that they don't get away from me, and using a tiny piece of a of a sponge, I'm going to sponge that color that I made into the center of the butterfly wings. I'm going to use the purple for the big one, and then blue for one of the small ones, and pink for the other of the small ones. So just sponge that right onto the middle of your butterfly. And after you have your butterflies all colorful, if your ACRYGEL was just clear, you may want to add more color to them than just that little bit in the center. Now I'm going to use the frosting gel from Madame Glam, and I'm going to use that as my adhesive to attach the butterflies to my hoop. I have gold hoops, and I'm going to attach my butterflies spaced out across them. So there's the big one. Going to just kind of hold that in place, cure it. Aim your Flash Cure flashlight underneath the butterfly so that it does cure all the way underneath and not just on top of it, because it will not hold very well. And after that, I'm going to pop it off and I'm going to move it because I decided that I put that in the wrong spot. And I'm going to Flash Cure it again. That's the other great thing when you flash cure is it is cured good enough where it's not going to move on you, but it isn't so solid that you can't pick it off. You can't just pull it off too. So that worked out well. I'm going to add my pink one above the purple one and the blue one at the bottom where I had originally placed the purple butterfly. After they've all been flash cured and then fully cured, go ahead and flip them over so that you can add more of your Mirage gel, more of your frosting gel over the back of your butterflies where they are attaching to the hoop. Create like a little loop all the way around to really hold them in place. Using black gel paint, I'm going to add the rest of my details to my butterflies. I'm going to start with their bodies, add their head, thorax, abdomen, and then using the black gel paint, add the details to their wings. This is where you can have so much creative fun. There is so many different styles of butterflies, from realistic to very simplified, and you can just figure out whatever works best for you. However detailed you want to make them, go ahead and just go to town with it. I love painting butterflies. The symmetry is a welcome challenge. I love something where it makes me think, and going back and forth and making sure I'm doing something the same from one side to the other is definitely a moment where it makes me think. And then this also has the double thought process because I have to repeat the whole thing another time for the second pair of earrings, or the second earring of the pair. That probably makes a little bit more sense. So just go through and add all of your details to your butterfly wings. The great thing about painting over the top of these butterflies is because they are made of ACRYGEL and all of the products used are gel, the gel paint, gel to attach them together, attach them to the earring, is that gel paint will paint over the top of it very smoothly and very just satisfyingly. It'll just go on so nicely. If you had made these out of acrylic, you may want to use acrylic paint instead of gel paint in order to add the details to your butterfly. And the effect would be just the same at the very end, but the painting process would just be a little different. And I don't feel like it's as smooth. The process isn't quite as just smooth. Smooth is really just the word for it. So we're going to go through and add details to the other butterflies. I did not make any of my 3 butterflies the same as far as their wing details go. I gave them a little different personality for each one. I feel like that's necessary in this circumstance. They're different colors. They really need to have different details with the black. And there's so many different types of butterflies out there that you can get endless inspiration if you look at the different types that are around. One thing I do find, however, is when I'm looking up for butterfly specifically, reference photos, if you just type in butterflies, you're going to get the same images over and over again, and you're going to get a lot of monarchs. Just seems to be what my search engine decides to show me. But then if you're like, yeah, I've seen this one, I want something different, I want to look at a different pattern. If you add some more words to it, you'll get different things. So it could even be something as simple as blue butterfly, pink butterfly. Maybe you'll find nothing by doing that, or maybe you'll get some new designs. The other way to do it is if you look at South American butterflies, or you could do Australian butterflies in Georgia. There's just different ways that you can adjust your search in order to get results that aren't just repeatedly the exact same thing over and over again. And I do find that is a particular challenge with butterflies, is that it just seems to get a little repetitious. So we've got our final butterfly. Do make sure you are doing something that you can repeat. That is one of those things you do one side and it looks so cool, and then you go through and like, oh, how did I start this? Where should I start this now to do it again? So it's good to do something, and as you're painting, to just pay attention to the way that you're painting so that you do know how to repeat it. As you saw, I was just over there counting my first wing so that I could do the same thing on the second side. and then go through and do the last little bit on the bottom. After you have the black details on your butterflies, you can simply leave it at that, and after they're cured, apply some top coat and call it a day. Or you can go through and you can do some more detailing on them with either another color. You could add some more, like on the purple one, you could do some details with the full strength purple that isn't lightened with white. Same thing for the blue or the pink. You could add some white dots, which is the route that I took. You could add some silver or maybe some reflective elements. You could get some rhinestones or some gems brought into this. You could do so many different things with this type of a design. It's one of those where there are sure some rules, like trying to make sure things are symmetrical, but other than that, there's just so many different options. I was really considering putting some duochrome over the top of my butterflies, and then eventually I decided, I kind of just like their simple pastelness, but you could. It would be so much fun to add some sparkliness. I'm going to finish them with some top coat, and then after that's done, they're done. You get to wear them, you get to show them off, you get to have fun. Making my own earrings is one of the best things I have done for my nail art career because it really gave me a second lease on what I can do with the skill set that I have given myself for the past 10 years. So I am so glad that you guys are enjoying these earrings from Nail Art Products as well. I have made a bunch of them. I can put links to a few of my favorites down below, and I will see you all next time. Bye!